Okay, I was thinking, oh, and then also if you guys have any questions that are relevant to what I'm doing at the time, like bring them up. And I don't mean to be confrontational all the time, but it's like I'm like we should, I mean, I'm just bring positivity with you. Is all I have. Let's all tune into a positive vibration right now, and let's keep that. So yeah. So yeah, I want to hear about how everything's going, like how if you could tie it into what's going on and right now with InDesign and Illustrator, and how you guys are doing putting your boards together, because the final review is right around the corner. Okay, so I think I'm going to make a Illustrator board about Illustrator and some InDesign boards about InDesign, and you guys will obviously do it about the Eames house.
I think one thing that might be good to touch on too, it was something that I heard from some students, and not in a disrespectful way at all, but just I think we take for granted the fact that we know the relevancy of all of these skills.
Yeah.
I think it may be good to just touch base on like how making a board, putting a board together, a presentation together, like
how it's helpful.
How that's helpful in the.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, like, I don't mind you guys being disrespectful with me either, because I'm talking about being respectful to the Eames. Meanwhile, I'm here being disrespectful to everybody. Like, I've really treated everyone with disrespect, I feel like, and that's just me. Like, that's just, but it's like, yeah, you're right. That's my bad. We should talk about why the stuff we're doing is relevant. And I could tell you guys, like, something that I should tell you guys, what I feel like is the most important skill that I picked up in architecture school, design school, and like all my education. The most important skill that I picked up 100% is being able to stand in front of a group of people and present my project, present my idea. Like, all the software is great, all the knowledge of how spaces work and how buildings come together is great, but really just standing in front of a group of people and making them believe what I believe is like, that's really the skill that really matters. So I encourage everyone to really, and by the way, your final review is on the 13th. Your files are due on the 11th at 10 p.m. So that 12th, I would say just use it to figure out what you're going to say. You have 2 minutes. You have 30 seconds per board. Yeah, just think about what you're going to say that day. And on Friday, just come in and crush it.
Final reviews on 10 p.m.?
No, that's when your files are due, by the 11th at by 10 p.m. Final review is the 13th at 9 a.m. Okay. So, and by the way, this class is called design communication. So how you are going to communicate your design in the future is through boards. Like, that's how you're going to communicate to clients, to other designers, to anybody. You're going to do it through boards where you arrange your design work and you communicate them. So this is really crucial. Okay, so Illustrator. Controlling, oh, it's already on 24 by 36. So Control N, here we see the page size, inches. We have points, we have pixels, we have picas, which I think is used by graphic designers and typographers, but inches for us. 24 inches by 36 inches. So if we're doing Illustrator, we have to have 4 different files for our 4 boards. If you have one file, it's going to crash. And I saw in studio, I saw this happen to everybody. When I did my arc here, our portfolio review was at the end of 3rd year, and a lot of people were putting together their pages in Illustrator, and a lot of people's files crashed, and they couldn't get them open after some point, and they lost everything, and they had to redo it. So Illustrator, one board at a time. If you start putting too many things in there, they will crash. InDesign, we could do 4 boards at once. So InDesign, we'll go to File. Don't you hate that classrooms don't have operable windows? Like, I wish we could just open up a window right now. Like,
yeah, it's a little stuffy.
It's. And what's up?
It's to keep us from throwing ourselves off out of them.
No, actually, it's to be sustainable is what's being pushed. be sustain. You can't open a window, so we know exactly how much AC to pump, so we don't waste energy, and how much heat to pump when we like. So you can't open a window. And in a lot of hotel rooms right now, you can't open a window either, and it's just so backwards. Like it's, what are we sustaining? Like we're sustainable, but we're not sustaining human life. Like opening a window and having some breeze come through is conducive to human life. It's like we crave natural light and we crave natural ventilation, and it's just, man, and they're taking it away from us in the name of sustainability.
And it's kind of an oxymoron that is, because well, whole house fans. My mom has one of those. I just learned about them. It cools down they get the hot air from in
Okay.
the house.
So we go to File, New Book in InDesign. New Book. So if we're doing multiple pages, we're doing it as a book. And then we could go to File, Document Setup. Number of pages, 4. Start page 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Facing pages, this is if it's going to be an actual book where pages are going to be next to each other. We're going to uncheck that. Oh, and then the size. Custom width 24 inches. If I type inch, yeah, okay, 36 inches. What the? Did I miss something? Wow, and it's crazy how that kicks in at the worst possible time every single time. Right? You notice that too. Like, man. File, new. I should do it as a book, right? Oh, I can't. All right, let's try documents. Documents. Oh, never mind. Document. Okay. 4 pages. Inches. 24 by 36. Start page 1. Create. Okay, there we go. It's got facing pages, so I want to uncheck that. Document setup. Facing pages uncheck. All right, so 4 boards. And then it's important to keep our files organized because we're going to be putting other files in here, linking them in. So let's make I'm going to make a folder. And do this in your documents folder, not on your desktop, but this is just a demonstration. So Illustrator. Design. Okay, so I'm going to save this file in the Illustrator folder. And then I'm going to save this file in the InDesign folder. And then ideally you would want to have like every single drawing you're bringing into your boards, every single JPEG or PNG or TIFF or whatever saved in that folder. Because if your files move around, eventually things are going to go missing. InDesign ID dot ID. Okay, so desktop.
Is InDesign still vector-based?
InDesign is vector-based like Illustrator. Very good question. Yeah, Photoshop is pixel-based. InDesign and Illustrator are both vector-based. But in InDesign, you're not going to be able to do that are really detailed directly in the software, but that's probably not going to matter because you guys probably aren't going to be doing that in Illustrator anyway. So to get my 4 boards and Illustrator as separate files, I'm just going to copy my base board, and then I'll have my 02, 03, 04 as my 24 by 36s. Oops. So again, if you're doing it in Illustrator, you want 4 separate files for your 4 boards. If you're doing it in InDesign, you could and you should have them all in one file. I mean, if you want to separate them out in InDesign, all for it, but it can handle it. Okay, so let's take design, what do you call it? Tools. And let's take Illustrator tools. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to save this image, and we'll pretend for you guys it's like a rendering you've exported out and saved or something. So this is Illustrator. This is InDesign. So, okay, so the way we want to bring our image in here, I don't know if some of you have been doing it wrong. I apologize, I didn't bring this up earlier in the semester. You don't want to put the actual image in the file, you want to place it. And placing it is basically, you would say that's similar to, what do you call it in AutoCAD?
Xrefing?
Yes, Xrefing. It's similar to Xrefing in AutoCAD. It's referencing another file. It's not the actual file on the board. So, and the reason that's important is that lets us keep our file sizes small. So Illustrator. So we're going to go to File, Place, and we're going to place the image. So if your original image gets deleted, this is going away because this is referencing that image. And that's why I say it's important to keep everything in that folder. Okay, so we have 2 different selection tools. We have a selection tool and a direct selection tool right here. Selection tool, direct selection tool. Can you tell me the difference between the 2?
One's, at least in Illustrator, one selects basically the whole object and the other one selects the anchor points.
Correct. Yeah. And it's actually the same in both. Illustrator and InDesign work the same way. So yeah, I can take this and move it around. And then if I want to, does that work on this? No, good. But if I'm doing a shape, then yes, with the white tool, with the white selection tool, which is the direct selection tool, you can grab one anchor point and move it. With this one, you move everything. So, and it's important to use the right tool for the right job. So we're going to need to look at both. And then, so if you grab this and pull it, it stretches it in Illustrator, and InDesign, it acts a little bit differently. I think you guys have the tools to be able to compose a board in here. So, but in InDesign, file please. It doesn't stretch the image. I brought it in the same way, by the way. File, oops, File, Place, and I chose the image, and then I click where I place it. But you'll notice in InDesign, I changed the frame of the image, and I could crop it in tighter or looser and work with the composition of my board that way. In Illustrator, if I were to want to do that, I would have to draw a rectangle around where I want to crop it and click, shift click, right click, make clipping mask. And I make a clipping mask within that rectangle. And by the way, you could use an ellipse, you could use a custom shape you drew with the pen tool. So you can crop your images in an infinite number of ways. So InDesign, click, drag. Right, I mean, oh, and then let's, okay, so this is, oops, one. There are better ways to do this, but the way I do this, if I want something aligned on all the boards, I just Control C, go over here, edit, paste in place. Like you can do something where it's embedded into each page, which is probably how I should be doing it, right?
Yeah, I never really do it like that either.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
You should be.
Yeah, I should be doing it that way.
That's the way to do it. But
So I encourage you guys to, if you're doing your portfolio next semester, which might be like, I don't know, 40 pages or however long it's going to be, for that one, you guys should definitely probe that territory and figure out how to do that embedded into the file. But for 4 boards, Control C, edit, paste in place, or Alt, Control, Shift, V, which is a kind of a long way to do it. I mean, not a long way to do it. That's how I do it actually all the time. Alt, Control, Shift, V. 4. Okay, so, oh, all right, and then, so you're going to see that when you're working in InDesign, you have these blue and purple lines that are showing you how all your images are being cropped and what area to keep safe on your board. If you hit W, that goes away. W, that comes back. W. So if you hit W, you can preview your boards. In Illustrator, I don't know if there's an equivalent of that. Oh no, in Illustrator, you automatically see it the way it's going to print. Unless if you have ruler guides. But I mean, so yeah, W. And then another thing you'll notice in InDesign works very smoothly, and it runs really well, and you're moving back and forth and editing things. But the downside to that is when you zoom in, things are very pixelated and not displaying as they're going to print. And there's a way around that. But when you take the way around that, you lose the smoothness and it starts getting laggy and sometimes crashes. I had that experience when I was putting together that PDF thing that I showed last time. I put on the overprint preview right here, overprint to print, and I was working that way, and then it crashed on me, and I was like, oh man, I'm making a rookie mistake again. So, so that's something to keep in mind. If you want to preview it, just turn it off, preview how whatever elements you have work with each other in high resolution, and then turn it off again, and keep it off when you're working. So to print, file, export, InDesign, ID about ID, Adobe PDF, save, export. And it's here. So your 4 boards will export as one PDF from there. If we're using Illustrator, we're exporting each board separately. So let me just open both up. One type size. And Illustrator also has paste in place, and it also has paste remember layers. If you're exporting, if you're moving drawings from one place to another, and you have all your layers, heavy line weight, medium line weight, light line weight, dash line, whatever, you have them all as separate layers. You can go here and go to paste remember layers, And the next time you paste something in here, it's going to come in with the actual layer you took it out with. So 01, 02. Okay, so file, save as. You can also print. I'm going to save as PDF. You can also print as PDF. Maybe try both. Like if one gives you a smaller file size than the other, or you know, I encourage you guys to really experiment with the software because you guys have the opportunity to do that here for 4 years, and I would really take advantage of it and really work with these things until it's like it's not even an interface between you and what you're doing. It's like you're actually doing the thing, and the tool kind of goes away. And the only way that happens is spending time with the program. So Illustrator AI 01. I'm going to turn this off because I actually have my Illustrator file saved, and I'm not going to be referencing this PDF. So I'm going to turn off Illustrator editing capabilities because I want my file sizes to be as small as possible. O2 file, save as PDF. O2. Okay, so you guys are going to have 4 of them. I have 2. Control click, right click, combine files in Acrobat. Okay, I gotta launch Acrobat. Have I never launched Acrobat on this computer? No, it works. Create, combine files into a single PDF. Sure. And whatever. No thanks. No. Okay, so add files. It's putting oh, it's putting O2 first because the other one has the underscore. Yeah, so if you name your files properly, they will come in the right order. Rename. Okay. Okay, so yeah, they're coming in at the right order. So combine. So now I have the document with my multiple PDFs, and I could save it from here. File, save as. Choose a different folder. Desktop. This was Illustrator. So 22. This is how most offices name their files, right? It's the 220419.
Yeah.
Yeah. You use that?
Some variation of that. Yeah.
I see. This is what I've used for the longest, and how I name my files, and it's something that at least like 3 different offices I worked at used. So I'm just throwing this out there for you guys to like get familiar with this format. You see this, like it might look weird, but it makes sense. It's how some countries denote their date, year, month, date, and it really makes sense when you think about it, because your latest file, let's say I do one tomorrow, it's going to be 0420. So I'm going to look back on the right side here and see 19 and then 20. And if it's a different year, it's going to be 21. So the order really makes sense this way. Your month, date actually makes sense. So yeah, so that's how many offices do it. So your month, date, AI, about AI. Okay. There we go. So there is my exported 4 boards out of Illustrator, which you guys can do. And then there is my exported 4 boards out of InDesign, which you guys can do. Questions, comments, concerns? No?
Let's see, hand raised.
Oh, is there a hand raise?
Melody?
Hey, Melody, what's up?
Yes, for Illustrator, I believe, I don't know if I'm correct. Did you show us to have rulers in Illustrator?
How to what?
Have rulers. You know how InDesign already has the grid on
yes.
the side?
Yes,
So how
yes,
to like keep it consistent?
yes. So we hit Control R, and that brings up our rulers. And then we hit Control R, they go away. So Control R, they're on. And I think that's, oh, that's for the actual file. It's not for your overall InDesign window. So yeah, so Control R, they come on. You just click and drag. Click and drag. Click, drag. Click, drag. So yeah, and then yeah, use that to arrange your board. Control R. And Control C, Control V. Yeah, you can copy paste rulers from one file to another, which is extremely useful. File place. I want to place this again. And then, do they snap? It seems like they don't really snap, but you can, let's say after you place it, you want to snap. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I don't know if they actually snap. I usually either eyeball them or zoom in so far where I actually see where the edge is going, but I don't know if there's a snap in Illustrator.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
InDesign does, but
Yeah, InDesign does. So yeah, so there you go. Like all these softwares have their ups and downs. So what's best? I mean, really, I feel like you guys should really experiment with both. But you could choose. You could choose either or this time for this class for the final. But in the future, I think you should know both. Right. That does it for me. Unless you guys